Words matter.
Welcome to the Words Matter Pod with Akil Pinnock, a podcast dedicated to wordsmiths. I'm here in Allentown, Pennsylvania with rapper, scholar, and basketball player, Black Dre. How are you?
I'm good, man. Can't complain. How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. It's a long time coming. I remember my cousin Jason in 2017. I was going to UMass Amherst, and you know he was like, "Yo, my boy is in this." He submitted his song into this rap competition, and I forgot what publication it was for.
Audio Mac.
Audio Mac, okay, yeah, it was for Audio Mac, and I voted in it. Well, I listened to the song first. You know, people send you music all the time, and usually it's whack.
Yeah.
But so you know, that's the mindset I had going into listening to it. So I listened to it, and it was hard. Then I listened to your project, with Tales from Tillman Street, or
yeah, Stories from Tillman Street.
Stories from Tillman Street.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was definitely felt like it was incredible.
Thank you.
That EP. So yeah, man, we've been communicating through DM ever since, and
man.
I played his music on the radio.
Yeah.
The Weirdo Rap Show. I had
One of the first to actually do it. I believe you might have been the first on some real.
Yeah, man. So yeah, WMUA UMass College Radio. I played that, and yeah, man, we just been keeping in contact off and on ever since. And when I started the podcast, I had you in mind, so I had to hit you up, and you in PA, it's only 2-hour drive, so words matter. We back on the road again.
Yes, sir.
So who are you?
Man, I'm Black Dre. In Allentown, you might know me as a few names, but I'm Black Dre. I'm an artist, basketball player, therapist, man, activist. What else? I'm a lot of things, man, but overall, I'm an artist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you have so many interests? How do you balance all these interests, especially being an artist that's creative, but then sports, basketball isn't so creative, but at the same time, for whatever reason, the places that we come from, just basketball and rap is just parallel.
Yep. I would say it's just my passion for it, man. Like, you know how a woman would say, if you really care for it, like, you'll make time for it. And that's how I feel about all my hobbies, man. Like, I just love to make music. I love to play ball.
Yeah.
Like, I love to produce. I love to learn. So literally, I set up these habits in my schedule to where I can make sure that I carve out time for each one of these things.
Yeah. And when and where does your story begin?
It begins right here, man. Allentown, Pennsylvania, born and raised. Ever since I can remember, man, it's been a real chaotic place, but it's controlled chaos. Like, as crazy as it was, man, I learned a lot. I'm thankful that I was able to learn a lot. Like, this place gave me a lot of insight. You know what I mean? I was able to use that and grow.
Yeah. What about specifically, like, in that chaos that was controlled? What was the control part of the chaos that allowed you to grow and give you that insight?
I would say my mom was the one that equipped me with the tools to let me know, like, you can dream. Like, it's bigger than this place, and you're going to be tested and tempted, but it's on you. My dad, rest in peace, my dad would say, use your brain, son. That's all he would say, use your brain. And I used to just like, yo, he's riffing. What's he talking about? But, yo, when you grow up with a lot of dudes that didn't use their brain versus you using your brain, you see how that separates you right there.
Yeah. And what is life like in Allentown? Just what are all the different elements?
Man, you got... it's love and hate in the same place. It's crime, it's music, it's art, it's growth, it's failure. Man, I could say you take all the emotions you could think of and just throw it into a pot, into a bucket. I'll say throw it into a bucket and try to get out of that.
When did you start rapping?
Man, I mean, I've always been penning rhymes, man. Like, I'll say like 8th grade, because that's when it really got popping. Actually, I got suspended. Me and my homie Trey Riddick, we got suspended for writing rhymes. They called it terroristic threats in 8th grade.
Wow.
Yeah, man. We was heavily like Wu-Tang influenced, so we probably said some crazy shit. But but yeah, I would say 8th grade, that's when I really started penning, writing stuff down and skipping school. But we didn't really start recording it till probably like 2015, 16. And then once I graduated college, that's when I got full-fledged into recording music.
eighth grade, you was listening to, it was Wu-Tang influence. Where did that influence come from? Because, I mean, I listen to stuff from the 90s, but
Yeah.
if you don't have like older siblings or older cousins putting you onto that stuff, like where do you get that inspiration from?
Well, I had my older sister, man. She was heavy in the mixtape game. Like I remember she got booked. She went to juvie for a long time, and all her stuff was in her room, and I had free reign to go in her room. Like, man, she had everything: mixtapes, jerseys, posters. Like that's when I really jumped into it. But even just being with my homies, like we was trading off CDs since youngins. Like he let me hold his Mobb Deep CD when we was in like 8th grade. I would let my homie hold my Machiavelli CD, get his Ready to Die CD. Like we was just trading off all this dope music.
Yeah.
And back then it wasn't hard to find good music. LimeWire, we downloaded music every
Sure.
day. You know what I'm saying?
LimeWire definitely gave everybody's computer herpes.
That's a big fact. I got in trouble for that shit.
Was there ever a moment in life where, you had hoop dreams and had ambitions as a rapper, but you felt like you were more in love with one than the other?
Yeah. Prior to me rapping, like 2017, it was all hoop. Like that's all I wanted to do. I had a great college career in basketball, won multiple championships, got a chance to play a little bit of pro, but it didn't really make me feel the way I thought it would feel. You know what I'm saying? And then jumping into rap, that made me feel like how I thought I was supposed to feel.
Yeah.
Like getting on that stage, and that it was just different. Like, you know what I mean? So I did have those hoop dreams, but I had to shift it over.
Basketball's a stage too, so
Yeah.
what's the difference between that basketball stage, the court, and actual stage where you would perform?
It's individualized. Of course, you got a team behind everything you do in music, but when I put that jersey on, I'm representing the team's logo. I'm representing my school. You know what I mean? I'm representing all of that. But when I get on that stage, I'm representing my brand.
Yeah.
What I wanted to represent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Has that ever been a conflict in, because you have that mentality. I'm sure you had that mentality before you were even a rapper. So, and you've been rapping since you were 8th grade.
Right.
Also, that's a peak time for basketball love and AAU and all that. So, that individualism and that, it being your time, has that ever conflicted on the basketball court?
Yeah. You mean with music?
Yeah,
Like,
well, just
tying it together?
that mentality of just, like it being your time and on the court.
Yeah. A lot. Like I would take it to, well, in high school it was cool. Like I ain't had that problem in high school. But when I got to college, that was when more so you had to buckle down, kind of follow the rules, which was cool. But it's like if you telling me I can't wear J's when I'm playing, it's like I'm trying to be myself. If you telling me you gotta cover up your tattoos, or when they did find out I was doing music, it's like, well, you rapping about this, you can't be doing this. Like so I'll give a little story out. I ain't even gonna stress it. So they came out with a top 10 list, best all-time players in my college.
Oh.
I didn't get picked. And a lot of it, I heard the talks, and I'm cool with a lot of people there. And a lot of it was because of my music. It was what I did after I graduated versus what I did when I was there.
Did you go to a Jesuit school?
Nah, I did. It was a Christian college.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
But it's like, hey man, like what I did for that program.
Yes, I mean facts.
Crazy,
are facts, yeah.
crazy. But I know I get it.
Yeah,
I get it.
Yeah. Does Allentown have a hip hop identity?
Now I think I am a part of that identity. Like I think I'm a big part of it. But prior to me, I think we did within the town. I think we did. But outside of the town, I don't think anyone really knew us for music. People heard of Allentown. Like I tell them where I'm from, they be like, oh, it's crazy out there. Or I used to have a cousin that used to hustle out there or some shit like that. But as far as music goes, nah, I don't think we ever had one. I think we do have one now, and it's growing.
Yeah.
Because everything is getting so big and we're rebuilding. But prior to 2016, 2017, I don't think we had one.
Yeah.
Personally speaking.
Yeah. I mean, as a small city that's almost an hour away from Philly, one of America's most well-known cities.
Right.
Where does Allentown develop their identity from? Their hip-hop identity?
Man, it's tough. It's tough answering this question because I feel like a lot of artists, and this is no diss to nobody, but you hear a lot of influence from different places on artists. That's always how it's been. But speaking for myself, I think that just comes from really being from here, really having experiences, really being in these streets, really walking up and down these streets, seeing people, and knowing what we go through, and then just expressing that through song.
Mm-hmm. I mean, where do you get your inspiration from, and who embodies a Allentown, or what embodied an Allentown rapper in your youth, or was there anyone prior to you?
Nah, I can't really say I seen an artist from out of here and was like, damn, like I need to do that. I got to do that. Nah, I seen that in hoops, but in music, nah. That's why I think it was easier for me coming up, because I didn't owe anybody anything. Me and my homies, we didn't really want to be with the other crowd. We were us. We were Gauls at the time. It was just us. We didn't want to fit in with nobody.
Yeah. And you know, we sitting in the studio right now. I mean, do you think that this studio being what it is right now is a direct influence of or a direct response to the growing scene?
Hell yeah. Yeah. Any given day, if you check the IG story on here or talk to my man's Champ, he got artists in here all day. You know what I mean? So, and this is top notch. You know, this ain't no bullshit hole in the wall. So I think it definitely speaks to how we're growing.
So the first project I heard of you was Stories from Tillman Street, and your company is named Tillman Music Group.
Yeah, man.
You got a Tillman chain. Tell us about Tillman Street and what it means to you and your community.
That's the straight line on the compass. Like, you get into Allentown through Tillman Street, you leave out of Allentown on Tillman Street. Like, man, that was really my stepping stone. Like, everything I seen was on Tillman. Like, now I'm thinking back, like, I fought on Tillman. Got my first kiss on Tillman. Like, so much shit I did occurred on Tillman Street or led me back to Tillman Street. You know what I mean? Like, man, it's really everything to me on some real shit.
Yeah. You have a bachelor's degree and a master's degree, and there's been a few rappers who graduated with an undergraduate degree, but I haven't heard of too many rappers with a master's degree. Why continue the education while pursuing a career as a rapper?
Because school has never been hard for me. Honestly, like, the answer's in the books, and I knew that I had to do that to further my career, to make the salary I wanted to make so that I could do more with music. Yeah, you know what I mean. Like, when you have a bachelor's degree, it pays, but it doesn't pay like a master's degree does. And I knew my job would be easier if I got a master's. Yeah, school wasn't hard, and I really just went back because COVID. I was tired of sitting around playing video games. I was bored, so I was like, you know what? Spend a year in school, I could do it. Yeah. It was simple, bro. I'm not even gonna lie. It was simple.
What can you apply from education that or you know, what from education did you apply to music, or you know, you could continue to apply to the music?
Stay consistent. Yeah. Just literally stay consistent. The same way you wake up and you study and you're tested to see where you stand, it's the same way with music. Yeah. You know what I mean, write every day. Study other artists, study other patterns. Like, I'm a producer as well, so I'll listen to songs just for drums. Yeah. And then try to do it myself and see if I could get that down. So it's the same way creating habits.
Mm-hmm. Why psychology? Why a master's degree in psychology?
I've always been infatuated with how the brain works, and most importantly, those with disabilities, intellectual disabilities, just to see how their brain works. Yeah. Like, and we'll say, like, a child with Asperger's or autism, like, we'll say that they're missing something. Yeah. But a lot of the kids I know retain more information than me and you. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I got a kid that he'll tell you the whole Star Wars script from the 70s till now. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, so I've just been infatuated with how they think. Yeah. I learned a lot from them. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What exactly do you learn from them? Just other than, you know?
Man, just with the information, the little attention to detail that they notice, those are the little things I pick up on. Yeah. Like, okay, if they can train their mind to think and know all this stuff and tune out everything else, why can't we do that? Mm-hmm. I mean, my one client, he don't care about nothing else but Star Wars and everything that's cool to him. Yeah. Like, the world outside, he doesn't even really understand what's going on with the market, the house market. Like, he don't, you know what I mean? He can do it if he wanted to. He's really good with numbers, but this is what matters to him, and he's gonna work hard to get what he wants. Yeah. It just so happens at this point he wants to be a film director. Oh wow. Like George Lucas. So he's really working at it every day. You know what I mean? So that's what I learned from him.
You know, going back to rap, in your early stages as a rapper, what are the things that you had to go about trying to get your music heard?
Yo, man, we did it all, man. Passing mixtapes out of the trunk, performing in places where it was nobody there, performing in racist bars, taking trips, putting up money for studio time, coming out with your first song and people treating it like, oh, he's a ball player. Everybody wants to rap now.
Yeah.
All that stuff, man. The groupies, the male groupies, pause. Your family asking you, what are you doing with this music? Why are you doing music? The backlash from people that you thought had your back. Man, when racial issues come up, some of your friends not having your back that you thought had your back, and it's really, man, it's been a crazy road trip with this whole music, man. You go through a lot of emotion.
What racial issues come up? What do you mean?
So I got a lot of hate mail when I did I Can't Breathe.
Oh wow.
It's a song I dedicated to George Floyd. In a video where we actually reenacted, like I'm laying on a high pavement with a 6'5" dude on my neck, kneeing me in the back. And I had a lot of people that I went to school with, and they denounced it. Like they didn't like that I was standing up for my people. A lot of people don't follow me. A lot of people had things to say, but yeah, doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
Really don't.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah.
You know, what are your intentions as a rapper?
To inspire a generation
Yeah.
to be better, to do things your way, and just let them know that you don't gotta fit into nobody else's box. You don't gotta. You could do all these things. You could play ball, go to school, and rap, and be cool as shit, and get girls.
Yeah.
You could do all that. You don't gotta go to the streets just to be cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Or just have content to rap about.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Or, you know, make up a street persona to become a rapper.
Right, because we all know rap is real. All these rappers are telling the truth. Right?
Yeah. You know, on the recap, you said, you see I make my own beats these days. I'm Berry Gordy. Did you make that specific beat because it's very soulful, and rapping over soulful production is a common theme in your music?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. Definitely. That's man, I don't even remember like making that beat. I do remember hearing the sample and just looping it, listening to it over and over again. And originally I had no drums on that. No drums. I was just letting the sample rock, and then added drums, and yeah, we had the recap.
Yeah. You know, if you can describe what lane you would fit in as a lyricist, because you know, lyricism, I think it's a spectrum when it comes to lyricism. There's so many different kinds of lyricists. Like, you know, you got a Lupe Fiasco type lyricist, but then, you know, I could say that you know, Jay-Z's a different kind of lyricist. You know, there's so many different kinds of lyricists. So
I ask a question for you. So would you compare Lupe more to Nas then?
Nah, I wouldn't.
Okay.
I wouldn't, because I think Nas is more straightforward as a lyricist.
Yeah.
Where Lupe is more, he relies on double entendres and
a lot of parables and
you know, it's different.
Yeah.
Where Nas is more storytelling, and he, you know, every now and then he has some, you know, some witty double entendres and stuff like that. But no, you know, that's why I never really understood Nas and Hove comparisons, because I feel like they rap completely different.
Yeah, for sure.
But you know, that's because of the beef and all that. But yeah, where do you fit in?
Man, and comparing with other artists, you want it like that?
I mean, just, you know, yeah, I guess comparing to other artists. Who would you liken yourself to?
Man, I think I tend to bounce around, but the comparisons I get that I'm really surprised of, I hear a lot of Rick Ross with my content, but I feel like he's more upper echelon. You know what I mean? Yeah.
That's interesting.
Right? I've heard Cole, of course. I've heard Nas in the earlier stages. But really, now that I'm like growing, I've even heard Nipsey before. But now that I'm growing, I really couldn't even tell you, because I feel like I bounce around so much with these things.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Whereas like I have a song like 525, that reminds me of like something Drake would do. You know what I mean? Versus like a recap where that's just straight for just talking. I couldn't even tell you who that would be. And then I have some songs I write where it's like, yo, this is like some Jay Electronica kind of stuff. You know what I mean? So I tend to bounce around, man.
Yeah. You ever try to, experiment with sounds that aren't familiar to you, or sounds that you didn't really grow up listening to as much?
Yeah, I have. I had a drill song, two drill songs, Faceless and Cold Blood on my last project. That's really fun. I really like doing drill music. It's really cool. Other than that, just songs for females. I got one that me and my boy Eric Rose cooked up. It's fire. I'll play it for you when it's done. It's for the women. But yeah, man. Every time I write a new project, I really try to do different sounds and jump out of my lane, because I feel like that's what it's all about, is growing as an artist. You know what I mean? Like, I love an artist like Pusha that can rap about cocaine for 30 years and still sounds fresh every time you hear it. But I do love an artist like Kendrick, where it's like he never stays in the same lane. He always tries to elevate higher. I think that's what it's all about.
Yeah. On Cold Blood, off your most recent full-length project, Tillman 2, you rapping on the drill beat.
Yep.
And on Make It Home, of the same project, you rapping on a beat that I would say has a Mozzie kind of influence.
Yep.
How open-minded are you to these new sounds?
Completely open-minded.
Yeah.
If it feels right, I'm gonna attack it. That's funny you said that about Make It Home, because my homies told me, my homie Herb, he was like, bro, this sound like a Mozzie song.
Yeah.
And we fuck with Mozzie OD. So yeah, but I'm open to it. If I like the way it sounds, I'm gonna attack it. You know what I mean?
How do you do that? How do you embrace these new sounds without making it, or without sounding forced?
I think most of the time when people hear these new styles and these new beats, they try to emulate what they've already heard on it.
Yeah.
Whereas if I hear a new beat and a new sound, I'm gonna just put my stuff on it. Like, I'm gonna put my whole swag on it. I'm not gonna try to do what I heard Future do or what I heard Young Thug and them do. It's like, nah, I'm gonna say what I want to say. And that's gonna make it way more fire.
Yeah. You know, I don't really see a lot of collaborations.
Yeah, man.
With you and your music. I mean, why is that?
My fault. Put the Yankee on. I would say that's because I don't really. Damn, let me not say the wrong thing. I be inspired by a lot of artists, but a lot of them aren't tangible to me yet. I listen to a lot of local artists from around here, but the artists I can work with are the artists I like. Like, I like collaborating with Trey Riddick. I like collaborating with Cruz. I like collaborating with Sticky Money. Those are people that I like to collaborate with. Granted, there are some people I reached out to, and we're in the works of doing things, but till now, I feel like when it's a full project, I like it to be minimal collaborations.
Yeah.
I feel like I think that's why people like me a lot more. Yeah. You know what I mean?
People could really read you and figure you out as an artist. You're not getting distracted by some, other artists.
Yeah. I don't like albums that are too feature heavy.
Yeah.
That feels crazy.
I mean, once upon a time, coming up as an artist, it was almost mandatory to collaborate with a bunch of people. Yeah. Just to, you get more credibility, collaborating with people. But I definitely think Cole and Kendrick definitely laid a foundation for new age of rappers to feel like they're not relying on collaborating with everybody.
Right. A lot of my favorite albums, they don't have a lot of collaborators. Like Illmatic got
one.
AZ.
Yeah, that's it.
Black Album got Eminem.
Not even.
That's Blueprint.
Yeah.
Look, see, I'm off. I don't even know.
Because Eminem made Moment of Clarity, but he wasn't on the album.
So who? Kanye on Encore?
Which that doesn't really even count. Yeah. So yeah.
Life After Death. That's not many people. There's some, but not many. So yeah, I follow that formula. When I'm in the space, when I create a space, I try to invite the people I want into the space, and if you fit in, we'll keep you in. I have a bunch of songs I never used with different people, but if it fits, it fits. If not, then we could use it another time.
Yeah. How does that process go about collaboration? Because I always wanted to know with an artist, like, or rapper specifically, when you write a song and you hear a beat, you say, oh, maybe I should get so-and-so on this. And then it's like, okay, if they are on the song, how do they fit in the song? Do they do the bridge? Do they just do the hook?
Yeah.
Do they have their own verse? Do they have more verses than me?
Yeah. It's kind of it varies by beat. Like if I write something crazy and I'm like, yo, I know he would snap on this because this is his kind of vibe.
Yeah.
I would give him a hook. I mean, a verse. But if I feel like, I can't really get a good hook on my own, I would think like, who can I call on? Who can I ask for to do a cool hook?
Yeah.
Or even for some artists, maybe you can only afford a hook from a certain artist.
Yeah.
You can't get the verse yet, so you got to settle for the hook.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it varies.
Yeah.
Varies from time to time.
You know, for my set too, you said I ain't tell about that story about turning the deal down.
Yeah.
Who reached out to you so far to sign you?
Massive Bill.
Oh, really?
Long time ago. Yeah, around the time, maybe next year. That was what, 2017, 2018? Yeah.
So shortly after I heard your music for the first time.
Yeah. We were in talks with him and everything just didn't work out. And then I'm very technical, so I'm looking at their roster and I'm like, yo, they not doing nothing. They're not doing nothing for these artists. It's like, what do you think you're gonna do with me? Somebody who's on a smaller scale than these people. And at the time it was just shiesty.
That's a good that's a good call, and it's good for you to, really have that. I think that's the advantage that rappers of this time now, like, we know what our worth,
right? Where,
Mass Appeal, that's a Nas's label, and you a rap fan, so obviously you see Nas, average person, wow, that's Nas's label, let me sign my name. But you had that foresight to see that what could potentially not happen to you.
Exactly. Versus what could happen.
Yeah.
Who knows? You know what I mean? But you gotta trust your gut and go with the right deal. I've never been one on taking the first deal anyway. Mm-hmm. You come to you trying to sell me a car, let me see the other cars. You too happy about this one car.
Yeah.
So I know you got more in the tuck somewhere.
Yeah. How did that come about?
Just sending music. We're going back and forth from Jersey. I was living in Jersey for a little bit. And just sending music to them, jumping on their live sessions, sending music, man, going to the shows up at SOBs and just talking to Peter Bender and all these dudes, all the A&Rs they had. And that's really how it came about, just reaching out to people on DMs.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. So all them artists, man, it does work a little bit. I mean, so you be seeing all them in them comments. You might watch a highlight, a basketball highlight, and then you look at the comments and it'll say something like, I'm an artist and I'm trying to get on.
Yeah.
It might work for you.
Yeah, that's the thing too. That's funny because somebody just hit me up about it. Get your music in these highlight videos. You never know.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I make great music for basketball highlights. So I think that's the angle that I'm gonna try to attack a little bit more, is getting in these highlight films.
Even like in publishing too, publishing get your songs on those highlights. Man, so how do you get in the studio with Static Selector?
That came from reaching out as well.
Yeah.
Actually, did Rob Markman plug me in? Nah, he didn't plug me in with that, but that did help. But just reaching out to him, emailing, sending music through, and we had to pay a little price. Was not crazy, but yeah, he liked the music, and we actually set it up. That was supposed to happen a year before it did. So just staying on top of it, like, yo, I still want to do it. I still want to do it. And that was great.
Yeah.
Man. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah. And then you also worked with Rob Markman, like you just said. And how was that?
That was crazy. The way that happened was I reached out to him as well. We've been following each other on Twitter for a while. I think even before I was like making music. I don't know why. But I had hit him up because I seen he was doing music. Told him I fucked with his track. Said he loved my music.
Yeah.
And we just linked in New York and we just cooked up. He said he wanted to be on Tillman too. Yeah, I got to play him a lot of stuff. And he's just mind blown. He's like, man, he's like, bro, this is better than a lot of stuff I cover.
Yeah.
For him to say that, it meant a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's, and Rob Markman, as for people that don't know, he's a legendary hip hop journalist. But he also has a rap career, a budding rap career. So, definitely somebody who's respected in the game as a writer, and definitely is a big deal too. You definitely would want to hear some good feedback about your music from him.
Right.
Yeah, but he's also all right as a rapper.
Yeah,
as well.
He is. Yeah.
Allentown is a very blue-collar city. How does a kid from a blue-collar city like Allentown become attracted to sports and hip hop?
I wouldn't call it blue collar. Nah, you kind of right. Man, it's heavily Hispanic and black influenced, but I do see what you mean. It's always just been around, man.
Yeah.
Like when it's crazy to see kind of like the gentrification that's occurring now downtown. But when I grew up, it was just our block was all Spanish and black, so we was always outside. Like I'm from that era where we really outside day till night playing ball, playing manhunt, playing tag, like just doing stuff like that. So the urban community has always been like I grew up in that era. Like I'm 28, so I remember coming home from school and watching 106 in Park. I remember listening to new music every Friday. I remember Jay-Z and Nas. I remember Beanie and Jada, like catching every freestyle. So
yeah. What do you think that I mean, this is the East Coast, it's the Northeast.
Yep.
Where do the influences come from though? Because it's Pennsylvania is kind of close to Philly, but it's also close to New York.
Right.
So how do you find your place as a, like, how do you choose this? I'm going to rap like this.
I think I got influence from both Philly and New York.
Yeah.
Honestly, like I think I'm the perfect blend of both of them. And I wouldn't say I chose it. It chose me. Like I had to find my style when I first started rapping. It was heavily like boom bap, and then I had to learn flow, and I had to learn how to say things cooler.
Yeah.
How to make sense of things.
Yeah.
So I think that just came from studying those artists, and a lot of those artists I did study were from Philly and were from New York, honestly.
And what advice can you give aspiring rappers from small cities and towns or places that don't have a rich hip hop history?
This is gonna sound cliche, but keep going.
Yeah. Be
consistent and reach out to people. Get on the road. Do all these things. Sometimes you got to go to these different cities and prove yourself. You know what I mean? It's just like ball. So if you come from sports, you know what it's like to hop in a little van and go to these places and play against these big time players and bust their ass. You might lose, but if you put that 30 on the board, they're going to be like, I respect them. I'm going to see you again. So.
And what advice can you give aspiring rappers from Allentown who grew up like you?
Be yourself.
Yeah. You feel like that's not common?
I don't think so. I would say be yourself, but it's a new wave of music that's coming up. So, and it's fitting for what they see. You know what I mean? I can't tell a kid, you don't gotta do all that. You don't gotta be in the camera with all the guns, but because the little niggas is outside with guns, like I know what it's like. So I would say just be yourself and be consistent. When you're consistent, especially in the city, you'll separate yourself just off of that, just off being consistent. Like dudes might drop once a year. A lot of these dudes get locked up and they out for the summer. They'll drop in the summer.
Yeah.
They'll drop when taxes come. They'll drop when you know that the weight prices, when they getting their stuff off. They'll drop when scamming's up. Like you start to learn these patterns.
Yeah.
So if you stay all year round, you're going to win just off of that because a lot of dudes don't drop all year round.
Yeah. And what's next for you?
Right now, I'm working on Heritage Pack 2.
Okay.
Working on Spain for the wristwatch. Man, summer basketball is right around the corner. So getting my body ready for that. Man, that's it. Just taking it day by day, man. That's it.
Yeah. And why do words matter to you?
Words matter because the human language is powerful. And I was just watching a podcast about this. And human words are literally spelling. We spell out words.
Yeah.
It's like a spell. You know what I mean? So I believe that words hold weight. I believe that words can direct you. They can build you up or they can break you down. So which the power of your mouth, which is the power of the sword, and your words are your sword.
Yeah.
It's your choice. What you want to do, or do you want to build, or do you want to destroy? We got two choices. That's it. You know what I mean?
One of the best answers I got.
Thank you.
Yeah, so, once again, thank you to Black Dre for coming here. I mean, you already from here, but, words matter, man. We back on the road again. And, yeah, it was a long time coming. I'm happy this happened. This is my first time meeting this guy, but I've been speaking to him for like 5 years now.
It doesn't feel that way. It doesn't feel like it's our first time meeting. It's
weird. You know, that's the power of the internet. It makes
right.
the world small, make you feel like you know people for years.
Right.
So, yeah, man, thank you again, Black Dre.
Thank you.
And much success to your growth as a rapper, as a mental health professional, as a basketball player out here. You know, don't get too hurt, man. Yeah, don't get hurt out here. And thank you, man. Words matter.